their brand of politics, I guess.
But if you can't think for yourself, then you're not really free, are you?
No, you're not. You're not. But I've been excluded. I've been excluded on Oprah, you know.
On Oprah?
On Oprah, yeah.
In a surprising turn, Oprah Winfrey, known for her poised demeanor, was visibly stunned when Ice Cube revealed a series of shocking secrets hidden behind Hollywood's glitzy facade. This revelation has sent shockwaves through the entertainment world, leaving Winfrey momentarily speechless as Cube, with his trademark bluntness, exposed the manipulative power dynamics and untold truths of the music and film industries. As the world watches, the tension between these two icons has captured the public's attention, leaving many questioning what lies beneath their long-standing public personas. Cube discussed how platforms have excluded him, stating that he was not invited on The View or Oprah's show, despite his significance.
What platforms have banned you?
I've been, you know, I tried to go on The View. They didn't have me on The View.
Why?
Well, a few of the guests just really didn't like where I was coming from. So, or a few of the hosts, I mean. So that's what I was told by the producers. You know, I don't know if the producers was just copping out and using some of the hosts to not have me come on and explain myself, but I've been excluded. I've been excluded on Oprah, you know.
On Oprah?
On Oprah, yeah, I've been excluded, yeah.
I would think you'd be the person Oprah would want to promote. I mean, you grew up in South Central, you were successful at a young age, you have dignity, you say what you think. Like, I thought that was the goal.
Me too, you know. I don't know what it is, but, you know, several of my, you know, I had a movie called Barbershop, you know.
Yeah, I remember.
That I wasn't invited to participate with the cast. I produced a show called Black White, and it was a very controversial show. And once again, they had the whole cast on, but I wasn't invited. And so I don't know.
On
Oprah's
show.
Success. Cube claims that his controversial opinions were the reason, pointing to instances like his exclusion from the cast of Barbershop and his show. The feud between Oprah Winfrey and Ice Cube stems from the rapper's claims of being snubbed due to his independent stance. He spoke about trying to appear on The View but being turned down because his views didn't fit the show's political agenda. Cube also expressed frustration over his exclusion from Oprah's talk show. He feels that this is a result of his refusal to conform to the industry's norms and political expectations.
Wait, that sounds like right-wing extremism and whataboutism.
But I've been shut out. You know, some platforms will not have me on.
Why?
They don't like that I'm, you know, an independent thinker. I'm not part of the herd. I'm not part of the go along to get along gang, so to speak. So, you know, I'm an outsider. And so, you know, I'm not part of the club.
Ice Cube is shaking up the gatekeepers just by making appearances with Tucker Carlson, Joe Rogan, Piers Morgan. He's having an impact. He's normalizing a behavior of, hey, let me go sit down and talk with anyone and reject the programming that I can only talk with who corporate media, the Democratic Party, Democratic politicians, and social media tell me I can talk with.
Making him an outsider. This standoff between Cube and Oprah has shed light on what Cube sees as an elitist club within Hollywood, where real progress is hindered unless one conforms to its standards. In his recent interview, Cube voiced his
that I'm not part of the club. And a lot of you listening to me right here, right now, you're not part of the club either. And what I realized with the club is what makes them so mad is when you don't want to be a part of their fucking club. That pisses them off. What club am I talking about? I'm talking about the club of gatekeepers that we all got to deal with. You know who they are, and they definitely know who they are. A lot of people would be like, what? Who? Come on, man, stop playing. So, ever since I put out the contract with Black America, you know they've been with me. Here and there, this and that. But it's cool, you know. I expect that. You know, I've been working with, you know, on the big three for a long time, and you know how they've been with me with that. I done made it, you know, plain, simple, and clear what they've been doing. You know, the NBA been with us. Now, a lot of people might say, like, well, but Cube, you want to work with the NBA? Really, I don't give a about working with the NBA. What I want them to do, when I say work with us, is to stop working against us. Stop doing that bullshit behind the scenes that we know you're doing. Mainstream media, you know, they ain't fucking with us. And that's cool. We can do it ourselves, you know what I'm saying? We still on the rise without these.
Discontent with Hollywood's gatekeepers. He has been outspoken about the restrictions imposed on people who don't fit the traditional mold. He is determined to challenge this by embarking on a podcast tour, The Gatekeepers, to address these issues publicly. Cube's plan is to connect with audiences and share his message about independence and transparency within the entertainment industry. He is committed to challenging the status quo and rejecting the idea of conforming to the expectations of corporate media, the Democratic Party, and social media. Cube also addressed Hollywood's treatment of black artists, referring to the...
What am I going to do to deal with these gatekeepers? Well, what I'm going to do is go on The Gatekeepers podcast tour. And I'm going to go talk to everybody, you know, and get a chance to get my message out to the people. Be able to let people hear from me, you know. And you know, you might agree, you might not. But the important thing is, you know, for me to go on these platforms, say what I feel about what I think. And, you know, some people may get pissed off because I'm going to talk to everybody. I'm not playing. And it's gonna be a crazy summer. It's gonna be fun. Appreciate y'all. Always support the big three. Hopefully I'm doing stuff that you guys dig. You know, I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for people that's bored as in the summer with summer sports and want something cool like the big three. So here we are. Appreciate you.
Underpayment and exploitation that has plagued the industry for years. Although Oprah has built her public image as a champion for social justice and equality, she too has faced accusations of mistreating black artists. Cube's revelations have added fuel to the fire, sparking discussions about Oprah's role in Hollywood's power dynamics. Cube has hinted at a larger movement, suggesting that industry figures who have been...
This movie was important because it created a space and roles for a group of black women.
Yes, and I would just like to say about this whole Taraji, you know, I heard I was trending yesterday because people are saying that I was not supporting Taraji. Taraji will tell you herself that I've been the greatest champion of this film, championing not only the behind-the-scenes production, but also everything that everybody needed. So whenever I heard that there was something that people needed, I'm not in charge of the budget because that's Warner Brothers. You know, that's the way the studio system works. And we as producers, everybody gets their salary. That's negotiated by your team. And so whenever I heard there was an issue or there was a problem with the cars or there was a problem with the food, I would step in and do whatever I could to make it right.
Marginalized or mistreated are finding their voices and challenging them the norms that have long governed Hollywood. Oprah's reputation as a social justice advocate has also been called into question due to her connections with controversial figures, such.
Well, Oprah Winfrey is hitting back at claims that she created a negative experience for the cast during the filming of The Colour Purple.
Now, speculations started when one of the film's stars spoke out about being paid inadequately in Hollywood, as well as criticising production for making cast members drive themselves to set in rental cars. But the media mogul has shut all of those rumours down, saying there's no bad blood between the pair.
Harvey Weinstein. Some critics have raised concerns about her actions, questioning her judgment and motivations, especially regarding her involvement in projects that some feel disproportionately target black figures. This scrutiny has fueled debates about Oprah's integrity and whether her public persona aligns with her actions behind the scenes. What are your thoughts on Ice Cube's allegations against Oprah? Do you think there's more to the story than what's been revealed so far? Let us know in the comments below. Ice Cube.
Do you think that it's harder to be a man in America now than it was when you were a kid?
Yes. Saying what you feel, being yourself, is what they call toxic. You know, we shouldn't be called toxic for our instincts and for, you know, I was born this way. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Why can't we be ourselves? We were born this way too.
So there are some groups, like if I say I'm trans, and people say that's great, you were born that way, we affirm you.
Cube recently revealed some startling truths about the entertainment industry that shocked Oprah Winfrey. During a conversation, Cube discussed the manipulation of power in Hollywood and how it controls who succeeds and who doesn't. This revelation created quite a buzz, leading people to question the true nature of the public personas of figures like Oprah and Cube.
So there are some groups, like if I say I'm trans, and people say that's great, you were born that way, we affirm you. But if you say I'm just a dude with male instincts, you're not affirmed, you're attacked.
Yeah, I mean, everybody doesn't really have to affirm you, you know? If I wake up and say, you know, I feel like a pigeon, I want everybody to treat me like a pigeon.
If they are really who they seem to be. Cube also shared his experiences of being excluded from major platforms like The View and Oprah's show. Despite his fame and accomplishments, Cube claims he was rejected by these shows because his opinions didn't align with their political views. He feels his career has been hindered because of his refusal to conform.
Some people may say, whatever, Cube, we treat you like a pigeon. But some people may choose to be like, dude, no. That's your world. I'm not part of it. And I have to be ready for that. It's a big world out here. Everybody doesn't have to adhere to me.
To the mainstream, which has caused tension with Hollywood insiders. Cube believes Hollywood is controlled by a small group of elite insiders, whom he refers to as the gatekeepers. These gatekeepers determine who gets opportunities, and those who refuse to follow their rules, like Cube, are excluded. Cube plans to speak out about these issues on a podcast tour called The Gatekeepers. He wants to bring attention to how media manipulation and political correctness are affecting the entertainment industry. Cube feels that he doesn't need approval from mainstream media or political figures and that independent thinkers like him are unfairly pushed out. Oprah, who is known for advocating social justice causes, has come under scrutiny because of Cube's revelations and